Let me introduce Pamela Strauss-Pellegrini, who is the president of the Pediatric Cancer Foundation, and she'll share some of her thoughts with us. Pamela.
First and foremost, thank you, Westchester County Executive George Latimer, Vice Chair of County Board of Legislators Nancy Barr, County Legislator Catherine Parker, and of course, State Senator Shelley Mayer, who has been so instrumental in lighting up that Mario Cuomo Bridge every September 14th in honor of childhood cancer. I would be remiss if I didn't acknowledge all the legislators and their colleagues for their involvement in naming September 14th Pediatric Cancer Foundation Day. PCF was founded in 1970, originally Maxwell Leeds Pediatric Tumor Foundation. Maxwell, a little boy, had a brain tumor. His mother and her friends decided no child should suffer cancer, this horrific disease. At that time, the cure rate was 50%. Maxwell had a 50% chance of surviving. Thankfully, he did survive, and the foundation gained traction and membership grew into what is now Pediatric Cancer Foundation, a nonprofit charitable organization dedicated to eradicating childhood cancer. We are a volunteer board of approximately 40 men and women, teenagers through octogenarians who share the same vision. We spend countless hours raising funds for groundbreaking research so that no other parent has to hear the words, "Your child has cancer." We work with doctors and a medical advisory board to ensure that every donation funds a project that has been thoroughly reviewed and vetted. And since our inception, we have donated over $20 million to these doctors at the hospitals we support. We have helped move that needle for a cure rate of 50% back in 1970 to over 80% what it is today. But that means that close to 20% of these children will not survive, and that is not acceptable to us. In April 2022, we hosted our first PCF walks and raised $280,000. We honored a 7-year-old little girl who had just kicked cancer to the curb. Prior to our walk, Katie cut the ribbon. The ribbon was held by the doctors who treated her, doctors who we funded. That's who we are. We give cancer a face, a voice, a name. We fight for these children, for these families, and we won't stop until we no longer need to exist. You see, cancer is still the leading cause of non-accidental deaths in children. 1 out of 285 children will have a cancer diagnosis by their 20th birthday. Children's cancer happens regularly and randomly, sparing no ethnic group, socioeconomic class, or geographic region. This November 16th, we will be hosting our marquee event at Modern Barn in Armonk. We are raising the bar in our fight and look to raise $250,000. Our doctors depend on us so they can continue their life-saving work, and we will not let them down. So here in 914, on 914, Pediatric Cancer Foundation wants to recognize children in Westchester and beyond who are battling cancer and raise awareness for these families. Together, we can be hopeful. Together, we can move that needle closer to 100% as we are all coming together for a cure. Thank you very much. I introduce you to Stephanie Mittman, our Vice President and Medical Liaison.
Thank you, Pam. Good afternoon. My name is Stephanie Mittman. I have the honor of being an executive board member and medical liaison of Pediatric Cancer Foundation. As a medical liaison, I have the privilege of working directly with the doctors and hospitals that we support. PCF stands out in that we have a very stringent grant process and legally binding contracts that assures we are funding cutting-edge research and groundbreaking treatment, and that the funds provided go directly to the research and treatment and not to any extraneous costs. We also have a medical advisory board made up of renowned oncologists and researchers who provide us with important insights during the entire grant process. It just so happens that I volunteer at Westchester's own Maria Ferrari Children's Hospital at WMC, one of the hospital's PCF funds. I directly volunteer with patients, and I get to see how our fundraising efforts go directly from bench to bedside. And there is no greater feeling than hearing a parent tell me that the treatment worked and there is no more evidence of disease or cancer. This is why we are all here today, so that no child and their family have to suffer this devastating disease. Thank you, Westchester County Executive Latimer, and everyone else in our great county who is helping in our mission to eradicate childhood cancer.